Hi, Betham. An early Shabbat Shalom. It's nice to be imagining you as I'm recording this video. I can't see you. I wish I could. And I know it's been a few weeks since I sent a Shabbat video. Some weeks it happens, some weeks it does not. But I think about reaching out to the entire community every single Shabbat. Some of you may have seen a little video that's gone viral in the last few days or weeks. Actually, I don't know when it's from. It's of a woman who was once a prima ballerina. At the top of her art and her craft, who is now living in some assisted living or nursing home, suffering from very powerful dementia. She doesn't know where she is really. It's hard to know if she knows who she is. And my understanding is that she has a challenging time communicating just about anything. And in the video, someone puts headphones on her and plays a piece of the music to Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake, a piece of music that you would all immediately identify. And this woman who's trapped inside of a mind that is no longer operating the way it ought to, the way it once did, she's also in a body that remembers things that her mind has forgotten. It's an unbelievable video because you see her arms start to fly out and flap like she is the swan in the scene. Her feet and her legs, which are not as young as they once were, cannot forget what that music is supposed to invite them to do. And this old, infirm, pitiable woman comes alive again, and a little bit, as if this physical memory was reawakened by the music, and as if her body can access the entirety of her physical life as a ballerina, even if she can't think it out, say it out, communicate it out. It's a haunting and beautiful video. I invite you to look for it. And it made me think of a beautiful commentary on this week's Parsha, Parshat Chaye, that I learned from a friend and colleague of mine, Rabbi Yosef Goldman, who actually was out at Temple Beth Am in January for our Kol Tefillah conference. And it's written by the Sfat Emet, one of the Rebbes of the Gerer rabbinic dynasty, Ger, which is a town just outside of Warsaw. The Gerer Hasidim are a very significant sect of Hasidut. And the Ger Rebbe looks at a verse in this week's Parsha describing Avraham after Sarah dies. And the Torah says, Avraham Zakein, Abraham was old, Ba Biyamim. And it's very hard to translate that phrase even if you know Hebrew. Ba means to come or arrive. Bayamim means in days. He was coming along in days. It's simply another way of saying he was very old. He had lived many days. Sfat Emet says, it can't be that, because we've already been told he's Zakein, he's old. So we know that he's lived many days. So what else could Ba Biyamim mean if it's not just referring to how many days he's lived? And the Sfat Emet's fantastical image of what this could be is as follows. To be Ba Biyamim says something about how you come and arrive in and through your days. And according to the Sfat Emet, what this says about Abraham is that as he went through his days, he was collecting wisdom and collecting inspiration. And the fact that we can say about him, even when he was Zakein, old, that he was Ba Biyamim, it means that he had access to it all. He didn't forget. He had immediate recall to all of the inspiration, all of the ha'ara, all of the illumination he had learned and experienced from others in his life. Does that mean he could articulate it and express it? Or he somehow knew it somehow deep in his body? I imagine the Sfat Emet seeing Avraham as someone who could just open up the portal of his mind and recall every piece of wisdom and inspiration he ever learned. And I can also imagine it being a little bit more hidden than that. That sometimes our minds know what we don't realize it knows, and our bodies know what our minds have forgotten. And when the right window is opened, it's all accessible. Just lean into that fantasy for a bit. Imagine you could close your eyes, which I'm going to ask some people to do in a moment if you stick with me in the meditation. Imagine you could close your eyes and recall every memory. Imagine if you could close your eyes and open a window to every piece of learning you once learned. And imagine if your life were seen by you as a life of gathering harot, gathering luminosity and illuminations, and that your primary goal in life, at any given moment, was to be able to call upon the beauties you've experienced, the wisdom you've learned, the people you've had contact with. On some level, it's all there. I do believe it. On some level in our brains, even if we can't find it, is the face of every person we've ever seen in our lives. And the wisdom we learn from every teacher from third grade to college. And every memory, both the good ones and the bad ones, they are there. The proof that they're there is sometimes that they come up without our trying to find them. And once we're in that reverie, other things kind of flood in, reminding us just how capacious and wide and extraordinary our minds are. And with a tiny bit of humility, I want to offer that this ha'ara, this piece of Torah wisdom, be one of the things that you add to your repertoire, so that as you're going through your life, you can be Baba Yamim. You can be the kind of person who goes through his or her days, who can recall the important things they've learned, who can access them when that specific piece of wisdom would be so helpful, and who can see their life not only, or even exclusively, or even most importantly, as accumulation of things, of money, of power, of influence, but an accumulation of ideas, wisdom, light, inspiration, and people that are all there inside you, even if some of the material things are not. So I wish you a Shabbat of ha'ara, of inspiration. I wish you a Shabbat where you can open the portals of your mind to get new things that are worth learning and allowing them to mix with that which you've already known. And I wish you a life about which it might be able to be said at some point that you, that we, that all of us were ba bayamim, coming through our days, collecting, gathering, holding dear everything that we have learned. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and if you want to stay for a meditation, please do. Be a short meditation, built on what we've just been discussing. I ask you to close your eyes. Allow yourself to take a breath that even has some sound to it. Don't be nervous what it sounds like. It doesn't matter if anybody's listening. Sometimes to breathe out is a beautiful thing. To breathe out sound. And if you haven't already, please place your feet on the ground. Place your hands on your legs, either palms up, representing an openness to the universe, or palms down, representing a point of contact with your own body. And imagine that your mind is something you can enter, walk inside of. Imagine you are walking inside of your mind. Whatever image that brings up for you, don't overanalyze why the image is there. Just let it appear. You are inside your mind. And you, your body, yourself inside your mind, are experiencing it as a closed space, a contained space, but filled with innumerable windows. And see yourself walking up to one of the windows. You don't know why you've chosen that one. It's just the one you appear before. Try to be specific in your mind's eye. What do you see? What does the window look like? What's its shape? What's its size? How does it open? How does it close? You stand there, not knowing why you're at that window, and you open it. And as the window opens, a piece of wisdom or a piece of inspiration that you had not thought about in a long time comes rushing in. You don't know why it's this one. But it's there all of a sudden. You're thinking about an idea, a moment you felt illuminated that you hadn't been thinking about, but now you are. Well, where was it the second before you were thinking about it? It was there. It's just that the window was closed. And as that idea, piece of wisdom comes flooding in, I want you to let it attach itself to a feeling that comes along with it. What does it feel like to be thinking about this again? What face or whose faces are brought along with that memory? That piece of illuminating inspiration. Where can you put it so that you know which window to open the next time you want to get back to this one? And you step back and you look at the windows upon windows upon windows, some of them representing ideas, thoughts, wisdoms, inspiration. Some of them representing just pure memories of things that have happened to you. Some representing people that you don't know who's behind each window, but if you were to open it, a face would emerge. Someone you might not have thought about in quite a long time. And I want you to have a sense of awe for the enormity of those windows, because it's overwhelming how much is there, and comfort that it's all there, and those windows can be opened, and you are ba bayamim, going through your days, collecting, holding on to, living through, consciously and unconsciously, everything that is on the other side of those windows. And let that feeling fill you up and hold you gently, and be one of the steps that you take as you enter into Shabbat. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and I say that I miss you, and I love you.